All right, Providence Monthly magazine is turning 30, and that's what we're going to talk about today and a bunch more. But Chris, I'm shocked this is your first time on the podcast. I'm actually not convinced it is. I feel like we did something during COVID. I don't know. It's a blur. But anyway,
Right.
welcome back to Bartholomew Town. For anybody who doesn't know who you are and what you do, set the table, please.
Awesome. So I've been in the podcast world for quite a long time. I had a podcast that ran for like 250 plus episodes called Let's Chat with Chris Revill. But then more recently, now I'm a account manager over at Hayrode Media, which publishes Providence Monthly. And then I, for a period, was doing the Hayrode podcast, which is hopefully will come back at some point. We just kind of ran out of time. And then I also the producer and host and do kind of a lot of odd things, but largely in the media entertainment world.
Yeah. And one big part of the media and entertainment world and really the news world in Rhode Island is a lot of the products, so to speak, or the offerings from Hayrode. But we're talking about Providence Monthly to start with. And Providence Monthly's, it's like, here's the honest takeaway from Providence Monthly. This format of media is, you see it tried in a lot of different ways, and it seems great. Look, we're going to print a magazine, and then we can sell ads to real estate or this, that, the other, and then we'll be laughing all the way to the bank while whatever. We'll just publish whatever filler we can get in there. Providence Magazine is a real magazine. You know what I mean? You pick it up, and you actually have like journalism and great photography, and you go inside and take people inside places and into worlds that they otherwise wouldn't know about, or if they did know about, wouldn't get the look that you get. It's actual journalism. And that's a huge separator in the space that you play in, which is why you've survived and thrived for 30 years. So with that kind of setup, what's happening with 30 years of Providence Monthly?
Yeah, it's wild because I'm from Connecticut originally, and all of these versions of like the lifestyle magazines, like we used to have like the New Haven Examiner and all this great stuff, they're all gone. Like that, all that stuff just kind of disappeared. We're for people who don't know, we're the free magazines you just kind of find everywhere around Providence area. We have the four publications, but about Providence Monthly specifically, you'll find like Providence, Cranston, East Providence, Warwick, that region, and so the magazine, it started in 1996 because Hayrode, our company is 51 years old, which is also insane. But I think Providence Monthly was formed 30 years ago, and at some point there was a merger at some point. So I was like just looking it up earlier, like 1996. So this is the year like Independence Day came out. Like I was 11 when this all happened. So one day we were just sitting around talking about it, and someone mentioned that we're turning 30, and then it kind of dawned on me as like we got to do something about this. Like that's not a small feat. Like it's a free magazine to exist in a post-COVID world, in a digital world. It's still relevant. People like it. One of the things I've always say I love kind of about the magazines, even before I worked here, is it's nice. It's fluff. It's a mirror reflecting what's back at the city. The people who work there truly care. There's only 13 of us who put everything out every single month, and like we really truly love Providence and the surrounding areas, and it's just like it's really like a labor of love in a lot of ways, and it's like I felt like it was important. And so we had a really great event. We had a Who to Watch party at Medici, and afterwards I was talking to their owners, Susie and Dan, who were just lovely, and they're like, we gotta do something again. And then once I kind of put together, I was like, a 30th anniversary is coming up. Providence, as we all know, not very busy in June. So I kind of came this idea. It's like, well, why don't we just throw a party, make it like the magazines, free for everyone, a way to celebrate, a way to help out our city, and just let's get everyone together and just hang out. Like we could all have different thoughts and views and ideals. Like we don't have to talk about politics. We could all just listen to some music and dance, have a drink, have some food, and just have a nice time and just kind of be together. And it just kind of steamrolled from there. So I'm like, all right, we're doing this.
We're doing it. Wednesday, June 17th, as a matter of fact, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Medici Lounge. There's the details. Right. What can people expect when they get there?
So we're so excited. If anyone hasn't been to Medici Lounge, it's really beautiful, a really beautiful space. We have food from Cafe Divina. Our DJ is DJ Mr. Bird. If you're not familiar, he's a fantastic DJ. He's not like a hit play DJ. He's an actual DJ. He DJ'd our Who to Watch party. He got people on the floor dancing, hoping to throw in some retro mix. And like in our true kind of Hayrode Providence Monthly fashion, it should be like a mixture of all different groups of people. Will be the business community, the nonprofit community, the creative community, like just a little bit of everybody having fun. A complimentary drink from Loyal Lemonade while supplies last. So we're super excited about that. And like my idea is for people to come and just really have fun. Like, it should just be a time to like kind of shut off the news, get off of your phone, and just kind of see the people. Like, we all, especially Providence, is such a wonderful city where I'm sure you're in the same boat where there's so many people I call friends, but I don't know their phone number. We don't call each other. We don't ever make plans to hang out, but we run into each other pretty frequently. And every time we do, it just like lifts my spirit. And it's like the idea is just like, let's get all these people from the different worlds in a room and just dance and have a good time.
People need tickets or anything like that? They can just turn up?
It's completely free. We do have an Eventbrite where you can reserve a ticket for free, but that's just for head count. But yeah, people can show up, bring as many people as you want. Like I'm hoping we'll get as many people we can get there. Like I think it should be fun. Hopefully you're gonna run into a lot of people who are like, like, it's almost like, when you see a teacher out of school, like, someone from one place and then you get to see them in a completely different atmosphere. Like how often do you get to see, like, I worked in nonprofits for years and years, and nonprofit people, we don't get to cut loose often. So it's always fun. Like, hey, why is that executive director dancing over? That never happened when I worked at in the healthcare system.
What are you seeing right now as an observer, as a participant, a creator in media on the local level? What are you seeing right now? What are you sensing that is kind of framing the way that you're working?
I think it's so interesting, specifically to Rhode Island, that there is more of a craving for it now than ever. Where I've noticed within our magazines, I've been here like about I've been in here a few years. A younger and younger generation is actually more interested in the magazines, I think, that have been in previous years. I think it's kind of wild. I think people are craving it. I think it's also nice to have something where you could not get like doom scroll or get rageful for them. Like, you can just sit down and read about a restaurant or look at someone's home or read about something nice happening in your city, and it feels good. I think there's a real craving for it. I think there's a real want for it. I think I come from like your world. Like, I come from podcasts and new media. I do kind of feel like everyone new media kind of really wants to be really trying to like mimic what legacy media did. And it seems like all legacy media is trying to now mimic what is new media doing. And I feel like it took a long time and there was quite a divide. Like, I say it took me years to get any sort of local coverage about podcasting, where I got national coverage a few years in. And now it's like kind of the opposite. It's like you're seeing the legacy media like really open to what's going on with the new media, and a real respect for it too as well, which I really appreciate. And like, people genuinely like care and they want it. And it's not just us. Like, we have competitors, and it's 2026. There's multiple different outlets. There's newspapers, there's magazines, and everyone's doing a great job. And it seems like all the companies, everyone like is getting along really well together too. Like, we're friends with Motif. We're friends with Rhode Island Monthly. Like, we all see each other. Like, I chat with those people. If I know of something cool going on that deserves coverage, like, it's not as gatekeeper. Maybe it was, from my understanding, it's not very gatekeeper. I'm like, I'll talk to my friend Allie at Motif. I'm like, oh my God, this cool event's going on. You got to write about this podcast. I think we're doing a story about it, but they need this too. Like, it's a win-win for everybody. And then also the coolest part of it is how much stuff happens in Rhode Island that then becomes national attention, that then all those national people, like the Housewives are the perfect example.
Sure.
They've been like coming, like that became, that's national news. And then they all turn around and want to do local press, and they all have really strong connections to it. Like, they read it when they were kids, or their parents did it or something. It's really nice. It's like, I think it's like kind of a warming feeling when, and media as a whole can kind of feel opposite, especially what's going on in like CBS and some of the other stuff. There's kind of nice to have, there's like a nice narrative going on of like a bunch of supportive community of people who actually just care.
Right. Yeah. I think that is one of the things that connects. It's a very important connector between, especially millennials, but probably all generations, to a bygone era, is our television, radio, magazines, to an extent newspapers. I think that there's a little bit of information there, a little multi-sensory thing that feels very comforting. And I think that's part of why people are coming back. I really do think, I think it's the art of it, and not just the fact that people are done with phones. It's part of that, but I think people actually like the thing. I think people actually like magazines and actually like radio.
Nice.
Maybe not television. I'm not convinced that traditional television has the same nostalgia. It always felt a little bit temporary in a way to me, but it still has a purpose. The 6 o'clock news or the roadshow have a purpose, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's interesting times here. But one thing that we do know in terms of time, 30 years of Providence Monthly. I am a big fan I've been in it a couple of times. I'm not going to lie. All right. There we go. Great opportunities. And that party's coming up, and definitely will be popping by that. And a lot of people should, to kind of just check in on the community. You know, that's what it is. It's a community gathering.
Yeah, I remember in 2020, my old podcast, I had interviewed our editor-in-chief, Elise, who still is there. And I remember her asking, like, hey, you guys ever do anything about podcasting? And I remember being like, I think we did something on Bill Bartholomew, because I remember you were someone who started after me, and I was always like, and just jumped leaps ahead, and you just absolutely killed it. Been a fan forever. And I remember being so happy. I'm like, yes, Bill cracked the code. He got local media to write about podcasts. I think I could be wrong, but you might be the first podcast that they wrote about. I might need to be fact checked, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I walked into the Providence Journal in 2019, maybe 2018, but 2019. And I sat down with Alan Rosenberg, who was the editor-in-chief at the time, and I pitched him Bartholomew Town as it had already been about a year in. And I was like, hey, we should partner on this. You know, we should do something with this. I basically want to give this to you. Just I need somebody to just give me some money to do this and some distribution. And he was like, well, why we don't need that. We already have report. We have Kathy Gregg doing interviews. So we don't need somebody to do interviews with, and, we had a great conversation as he walked me to the elevator, and down I went, and basically nobody cared. Nobody saw it except for the audience, at the beginning. Yeah. And I think that as well, that's really at the end of the day where the connection comes from. It's the external validation or whatever is meaningless. It's more just an amplification, so more audience can engage. And that's why you've been successful. Your podcast was a must listen, and the work you continue to do matters because you're a great podcaster. And whether or not the Providence Journal, everybody writes about it, is like so secondary to that, because your relationship with your audience is so authentic. And the same with the magazine. Like, honestly, like it's the key. And same with Motif Magazine, and same, what I mean? There's like the Newport This Week, who I have a relationship with, I'll disclose, but there's an authenticity, and man, does that taste good.
And we all care. And yeah, I've had that same conversation regarding podcasts many a times with local and national companies at various levels of my time. And it did something amazing for me as I worked in healthcare. I mean, I worked at Butler Hospital all through the pandemic. And from the podcast, I was able to leave my career in my 30s with a child in a house, and then make a complete pivot, and then get to work in media. Like I wanted to do, but never knew how to do. And like it led to some really amazing opportunities that would have never came any other way.
Awesome. Well, Chris, thanks so much for making the time to be here on Bartholomew Town, and we'll see you on the 17th. Providence Monthly. Happy 30th birthday.
Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Long-time listener, so this is great.
Our friends at the Coast Guard House have a new summer program starting this Thursday at 3 o'clock, Sound Waves, and it features DJ Dayglow. Bob Leonard from the Coast Guard House and DJ Dayglow join us here to talk about what's happening in Narragansett. Bob, what was the idea behind this?
We wanted to bring entertainment back to the deck. Pinning vinyl records is nostalgic, just like the Coast Guard House is.
It's an interesting parallel, the analog musical performance, sitting by the ocean, kind of slowing down and going back to the roots. Is that the idea here, DJ Dayglow?
That's definitely it. I really love creating intentional spaces with my music. So really picking records, slowing down, picking music that I think really complements the summer sounds of the Coast Guard House and the beachy vibes. I think it's going to be really exciting.
Bob, I think we got to get one of the sign-offs if you'd be so willing.
See friends, see food, see view. The Coast Guard House Restaurant.